welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, 3rd September 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The government is looking to partner with local businesses to install a CCTV network as part of crime-fighting efforts. And the Minister of Economic Planning, Camila Gonzalez, said they want to make a start along the south coast. That stretch was in recent times hit by a spate of robberies and a kidnapping, raising concerns among citizens and visitors about their security. Gonzalez said consultations are ongoing with hoteliers in the area and highlighted some of the incentives being offered to encourage wider CCTV usage by hotels.
Mainly the businesses from Mariners Hotel, Young Island, Bungalow, Mangoes, all the way down to Beachcombers, discussing matters related to security. And we again suggested to them that it may be a good idea if they bought CCTV cameras. They indicated quite honestly that they buy cameras, but they over the register to make sure nobody's stealing something from the register, and they're pointing at the bar to make sure nobody's taking any liquor out of the bar, and not dealing with wider issues. We indicated that we would attempt to provide spaces, for example, on telephone poles for them to mount some of these cameras, and in other locations. And we're sharing again with them the specifications. So that is, we're encouraging the private sector to increase as an investment in their own security.
Electricity poles.
Electricity poles. As an investment in their own security, to invest in CCTV, and we would appreciate it if they bought the types of cameras that would be networkable. That's one.
The finance minister said the government will be partnering with Taiwan to roll out a pilot project this year to place cameras at high traffic areas to support the efforts of the local police force in many locations.
The second aspect of it is that we're in advanced conversations with the government of Taiwan. And I mentioned this as well in the budget speech at the beginning of the year, but we're coming very close to concluding our negotiations. To place CCTV cameras at high traffic areas in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to place them at where people gather to ride the bus, bus stops, bus terminals, and certain high traffic areas around St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All of those cameras will be networkable to a central location at the Kingstown police station. So they'll be able to view the feeds of all of those cameras in a central location. We begin this year with a pilot project, maybe 20 to 40 cameras at some locations, and we intend to roll out next year a more complete nationwide network of these CCTV cameras.
The news conference, which was called by Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves and was also attended by the Acting Commissioner of Police, addressed several matters, including crime. The Finance Minister said the government cannot do it all and treasures the partnership of the private sector.
But that is not, this government and the Taiwanese are friends. We don't have the capacity to put a CCTV camera on every pole. And we're not asking the business community to abdicate their own responsibility to invest in their own security. But we think that there's a partnership that we can forge between what we're trying to do and what we think they could productively do as well. And the Commissioner has been very helpful in advising both the IT people and the Taiwanese government and the business community about what and where and how we should deploy CCTV in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The local police force is seeking the assistance of the public in locating two men who allegedly sexually assaulted a Peace Corps worker last month. Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves shared some of the details of the case at a news conference this morning, in which he said the alleged attack took place at around 7:30 on August 20th near the Leeward bus terminal. He said that according to a police report, the victim was physically and sexually assaulted by two Muslim men and gave a description of the alleged perpetrators.
The volunteer alleges that there were two assailants, both of Middle Eastern descent, who did not speak with a Caribbean accent. The volunteer further alleges that both of the assailants, alleged assailants, were wearing olive green pants tucked into the top of their black boots and a dark colored long sleeve shirt tucked into the pants. And one of them had a scarf, a lot of cloth fabric around his neck. He had a full beard. The other alleged assailant had no beard. The volunteer further alleges that during the assault upon her, her assailants spoke many angry and derogatory words about the American president, the Peace Corps generally, and the female Peace Corps volunteers. She gave details of these angry and derogatory words, which she alleged were spoken.
The Prime Minister said the police is treating the investigation seriously and the government has been in contact with U.S. officials on the matter.
In the general area where the assault was alleged to have occurred, the volunteer's bag was observed on a table. In fact, she pointed it out. The police retrieved the bag and the volunteer identified the contents as her own. She noted the missing items were a Peace Corps folder and an identification card with her home address in the USA. Later, she said that $60 EC was in a folder in the bag which was not touched. The alleged disappearance and the alleged return of the volunteer's purse, not the bag, with keys in it, remain among the many puzzles for the police. The police are still conducting the investigation into the matter and have been in touch with the relevant officials from the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. Two such officials visited our country on Monday, August the 27th, and have been working on the investigation with the police. The police have made available to them footage from the CCTV located at a nearby building. I have been advised that the CCTV footage shows, among other things, what appears to be a bag being placed by the volunteer on a table, the very spot from which the bag was later retrieved.
Acting Police Commissioner Colin John said the men and women of the constabulary are cooperating with U.S. authorities and examining all leads to conduct a thorough investigation.
Lieutenant Ballantyne, he is a person who is currently doing the investigation as regards this matter. We are seeking the assistance of the public with any information. Anyone who was around the area of the Leeward bus terminal on about 7:30 a.m. on the 20th of August 2018, and you think that you can provide us with information, we would welcome these information. We also have the footage, the sketches for circulation of the public, so that persons who see those persons can come forward and give the police information. We really would like to get to the bottom of this allegation. We treat this allegation seriously, as we do in all matters that are reported to the police. So please feel free to give us information as to any person you see resembling these persons, so that we can help to bring this matter to a closure.
Students of the St. Vincent's Grammar School received useful information about crime, its impacts, and on how to avoid becoming a victim or perpetrator at their General Assembly today. This as the National Commission on Crime Prevention, the NWCP, began the first of many talks with students and teachers at schools around the nation. Deputy Chair of the NWCP, Pastor George Frederick, told SVG-TV News that it is important to arm teachers and students with information relating to crime prevention, given their level of vulnerability.
Well, right now we're in the grammar school compound, and the purpose here is that it's just one of setting in motion. We are hoping to cover as many schools in the island as possible. And why the schools? Listen, we live in a world where they say monkey see, monkey do. Things are happening in other countries, and there are people who have copycat mentality. They may want to just simply embrace what they see happening elsewhere. So we have to talk to our students, teachers, administrators to give them a context as to what should be done, what can be done in the event something what we see happening in Columbine some years ago and all up and the cross where you have all this mayhem and murder taking place, and children and teachers, administrators, police officers, their lives are at risk.
Pastor Frederick said the NAACP comprises concerned citizens from a range of organizations, including the police, who would provide an enriching learning experience for the students.
Because it's an open assembly, an interactive period is not practical because they are in the open sun. But it's just really to give out some pointed ideas. There are other members of the committee, like you have the person in charge of the API, you have people from different aspects that would be here at today's sitting. And in ways more than one, we're going to be making various inputs. But what we are doing particularly is giving the teachers and the students a hands-on idea what to do, how to respond in the event somebody decides to get happy. And I'm being sarcastic when I say happy, you know what I mean?
The NAACP Deputy Chair said the committee is committed to their task and will be visiting all schools in due course.
Let me use a bit of psychology here, putting some pressure on my co-members of the association. We are all committed to going to schools or seeing it being done. All right, so folks in the area, give or take, within a matter of a few months or so, we should be able to cover. But of course, we have to do so with the blessing of the headmaster or headmistresses in charge. So, I mean, as I said, we are going along with it and hoping to cover all the schools. We don't have a schedule per se laid out just yet. This is the beginning of the school year, we nip it in the bud.
The police are investigating an incident involving a security guard of Victoria Village whose body was found in a bathroom of the business place at Arnesville where he was working his shift. The body of Rodney George, said to be in his 40s, was discovered around midday on Saturday after workers found the bathroom locked and were unable to locate the key used to access the bathroom. Further details will be brought as they come to hand. Minister of Education St. Clair Jimmy Prince today welcomed students for the new 2018-2019 year as they return to the classroom after 2 months on the summer vacation. Reflecting on the last academic year, the Education Minister said that there were challenges, but he is grateful to God for the start of a new school year.
The Ministry of Education wishes to thank all our stakeholders who continue to support and assist us over the course of time. Education is our priority. Therefore, we thank you for standing with us and doing all in your power to support the children of our nation as they continue to strive for excellence. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our returning principals, teachers, and the students back to the classroom, and to extend a special welcome to our new students at the early childhood centers, those in kindergarten, and all the students who are going to new schools or new classes. I wish you every success as you begin a new chapter in your young lives. There is no need for you to worry since you are in the hands of capable teachers who are concerned about your well-being.
Minister Prince is urging the principals and teachers to continue to take their roles and responsibilities seriously as they impart knowledge to the nation's children.
I therefore implore you to do all in your power to make a positive impact on the students who are registered at your schools. Instilling values of tolerance, kindness, and brotherly love in the children of our nation is essential. There is greater need for our parents, teachers, counselors, and the churches to work more closely together to make a greater impact on our students, particularly at the secondary and tertiary levels, where additional support is required.
The Education Minister took the opportunity to congratulate students who successfully completed the CAPE and CSEC exams and wished them well on the new chapter in their lives. He reminded them on the part they have to play in achieving excellence.
Students, you have a responsibility to yourself, your parents, and the teachers to make the best use of the opportunities that have been provided for you to receive an education. The government is doing its best with its limited resources to provide you with quality education and opportunities that are unknown to some of our parents. I therefore implore you to stay in school and to take learning seriously. Listen to your teachers and show them the respect they deserve.
Rubis SVG is looking for alternative sources for the importation of fuel following the announcement of the imminent closure of Petrotrin in Trinidad. Rubis country manager Elroy told SVG-TV News today that Petrotrin formally informed them on the new development as regards to its refinery, and a decision was subsequently taken.
We are aware of the issue at Petrotrin, and we have plans in place to replenish our stock. We may get some fuel from Petrotrin because, as they have mentioned, that they, despite the fact that they may be closing their doors on September, I think that they also have plans of even importing some sort of fuel actually to keep their supplies afloat. But if we are unable to get fuel at Petrotrin, which I think that there will be some challenge getting fuel from Petrotrin, we also have relationship with fuel suppliers outside of the region, just as I mentioned, for example, in Bahamas, St. Croix, and other places.
Edwards said Rubis receives its fuel supply every 2 weeks from Trinidad. While there is enough in stock, he said that they are hoping that the government intervenes to assist in cushioning costs.
The only challenge that I can actually see is as it relates to the logistics. You know, we will have to work out the shipping logistics. This is a case where we will not be going to Petrotrin, but we will be going outside of the region. The government is aware of the situation, and we are working hand in hand with the government to ensure that the necessary paperwork is in place, or the necessary waiver of duties is actually in place for the importation of fuel, because Petrotrin falls within CARICOM, and when fuel is imported outside of the region, it do attract extra-regional tariffs.
Petrotrin is likely to close its refineries in September, displacing 2,000 full-time employees. The Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, PAWI, has a new district presiding bishop. He is Bishop Stephen Oliver, who was installed yesterday at a special service held at the Faith Temple Church, New Montrose. Bishop Oliver said he believes that the Christian community can reach out to the people through increased preaching of the gospel. He said it is time to take a stand and arrest the seemingly negative image of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd has more.
Newly installed Bishop of the Pentecostal Assembly of the West Indies, Bishop Stephen Oliver, is calling on the Christian community to get more involved in imparting messages through the gospel that would positively influence behavior. He made this call yesterday during his inaugural sermon as District Presiding Bishop of the Pentecostal Assembly of the West Indies at the Faith Temple, New Montrose. Bishop Oliver said it is about time that the Christian community takes a stand and heighten awareness on gospel.
God loves those who are not saved. He loves all of us. And he wants the church to engage, get into the communities. We need to spread this gospel, not only when we have 5 murders on a weekend, that's the only time, but we need to be consistent with the message.
Bishop Oliver, a Trinidadian who has lived in St. Vincent for more than 35 years, said he is aware of crime and violence locally and believes that one person or one church cannot deal with this situation alone.
A lot of things are happening around us, things we never imagined would have happened, things that we call sinful, Today people are saying it's good. Oh, it's terrible. We cannot even walk the streets like before. But oh, brethren, we need to understand we have the power of the Holy Ghost. And it's time as a church we rise up in that power and let men and women know that they need Jesus. Not only when something terrible happens on a weekend that now we muster strength, but at all times we need to be out there letting people know that Jesus Christ is alive.
Pastors and members from various churches in the districts, as well as government officials, attended the installation ceremony, welcomed and congratulated the new bishop. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Maureen Williams, in her congratulatory remarks, said that spreading the word is also part of the process of education.
Thank you. So I want to congratulate you. I want to wish you a very exciting and fruitful tenure. And I want to also congratulate those who would serve with you and ask them to give you their fullest support as together you continue to play as a Pentecostal assembly that very important role in this nation of helping to change lives. Because when a man is changed, then we have less problems in the schools. His children are ordered. His family is ordered. And our society is a better place.
Bishop Oliver has served in various congregations within the Pentecostal assemblies in St. Vincent, including the Kingdom Life Tabernacle in Mesopotamia. He also served as assistant presiding bishop of PAWI for 14 years before becoming presiding bishop, replacing Bishop Sonny Williams. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.